Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Dive Podcast. I am your host of the Trap or Dive Podcast, Mual. AJ is in here. Dre is in here. This is the post-game recap. But before we get to the game, as always, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We definitely appreciate that, as always. If you are on the audio side, hit us with a rating and review. It takes 10 seconds to do so, and it's free to show your support that way. Also, just hit the button. You know what that means, man. Hit the button. 41-24. Washington improves to 2-1 after that BTA display in Northwest. I think it's Northwest again now. Yeah, Northwest. FedEx Field, however you want to call it, Landover, Maryland. First and foremost, fellas, how y'all doing? But also, if we want to give like a quick high-level overview of the game, man, I just feel like this is one of those moments where, Dre, you mentioned Thursday, you don't need to, or Tuesday, you don't need to see or you don't necessarily think it has to be like a ass whooping to like overcome or like that stench from a Thursday night game. But ultimately, in a sense, you get it. 41 points, 200 yards rushing. The Commanders on the defensive side of the football, for what it's worth, held the Raiders to 3.3 yards a carry. On the ground, 93 yards given up, but 3.3 yards a carry, which is excellent, and kind of what they've been doing the first 3 weeks of the season. 5 sacks on Geno Smith. Unfortunately, a lot of garbage time yards for Geno, and you ultimately have this team give up for close to 400 yards. And then you also walk out of here with several more injuries. Will Harris, Trey Amos, and then obviously Marshawn Lattimore as well. It's the response that Washington needed. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. You go into Atlanta in good shape from a mentality standpoint. You responded after an embarrassing game, in the Dan Quinn era against Green Bay, the proper way. And you really set the tone off rip on your touchdown drive. Debo breaking one on special teams. The run game, 5 plays, 4 rushes. Marcus Mariota finishes off with a scramble. It's exactly how you would want to start the game when you want to set a tempo, set the tone, as well as Washington did in this game against the Raiders.
This game, first off, yes, I am very happy because all week I've been saying that you have to come out here in this game and have a big response. After last week, the vibes felt like they were down. You didn't like what you've seen against a, really good Green Bay Packers team who, by the way, just lost today to the Cleveland Browns. But what Washington needed to do was come out here and get something to feel good about themselves moving forward. And I think that's what this game kind of does. I mean, injuries aside, Jaden obviously didn't play. You got some more injuries today, but those guys went out there and they didn't let that affect them. Regardless of the opponent, you can sit up here and say the Raiders are a bad team or whatever, but Washington did what they were supposed to do today. Washington was reminiscent today of the team that we saw win 12 games last season. Like, this was the team that was beating those games when they were playing against the Panthers and the Browns, and they were dominating those type of teams that make you feel like, okay, this team is, they may have something here. So this was the type of response you needed. So now going into next week, you have to be confident. And that's with or without Jaden this week. I mean, obviously, I want Jaden to come back when he's ready, when he's healthy, get him rolling. But Marcus Mariota came out there and showed you today that he can still play in this league. I mean, you should have seen it last year. Some people just didn't believe that. People were kind of doubting him this week, but he came out and just showed another really good performance when his number is called. And, on top of that, you had the shakeups on the offensive line. Those guys were, you got to give them a game ball, the whole offensive line today when you have 200 yards of rushing, and it wasn't just one person. You had multiple people out there looking good at separate times. McNichols, Rodriguez, even Mariota on his keepers is something I mentioned to watch out for. Debo got carries today. So, I mean, you had a lot going with the offensive line as far as bullying the Raiders' defensive line. And then on the other end, on the defensive side of the football, I thought they controlled the game in the trenches as well. Like Ashton Genty, I mean, he's been struggling so far to start the season, but you had another solid run defensive game. You know, that's where it started. Like, you know, I know Geno's numbers are going to look kind of inflated, you know, when you look at the box score, but those weren't impactful numbers. Like those are like garbage time numbers. Like this game, you know, even the score was 41-24. It shouldn't even look as close as it was because that game was never really close after the first half. So again, this was the type of response I was looking for from this team. And I feel good about them going into the Falcons game next week now.
Yeah. It's kind of, well, what did I just read? Bowie said Jaden should sit out for 36. We don't know. Bro, if you don't, when you getting a little excited with the Marcus Mariota thing.
Come on, Bowie. Come on, Bowie.
I mean, come on now. Like I'm not jumping the gun like that just yet because Mariota played good against the Raiders. That is not a knock on Mariota's performance, but like if Jaden is healthy, he's playing.
He
like,
plays.
There's nothing about it. Couple things that's surprising since we're talking about injuries and inactives. Y'all offensive line, you have some shuffles. Alec Grady is benched for Andrew Wiley. Brandon Coleman is benched for Chris Paul. And this was I think the more surprising thing was Chris Paul coming in for Brandon Coleman as soon or early as he did. Like we kind of thought about the right side of the offensive line throughout the entire week or even just like the last 10 days. The Bears just got that. You watching the Bears?
Yeah,
you know what?
I was figuring out what happened because it looked like Dallas turned the ball over.
Yeah, I just saw them go on a big run and then all right, we got a show to do. So I'm over here looking at the left side and like we kind of understood, at least on here, we talked about it. Like because of how rough of a start Connolly's been up to, like the performance of Brandon Coleman was just so quiet because everybody's focused on the rookie. And Brandon Coleman over here like, oh Lord Jesus, I need help too. But they pulled the plug on Brandon Coleman this week and they put Chris Paul in and you respond back with no sacks for Mariota. I think he had one late. I'm sorry, but that one was at the end of the game as well. And then like, Max Crosby, and on top of that, like he just split the pool action. It wasn't like somebody got beat. He was just too quick off the ball. So in a sense, I'm going to say it's a sack, but they really didn't give up any sacks from a performance standpoint. Played really well. Josh Connolly did what he did when he had to do it, which is hold for dear life. It set the offense back a few possessions in the run game and the pass game. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about the offensive line needing to establish the ground game and do better in the passing game, Mariota had a lot of time to make decisions back there. But also, like that run game, shout out to the running backs as well, because the offensive line got things going in the trenches, but there was a lot of creating from everybody. You mentioned McNichols already, but like all of these guys were seeing the cutback lanes, hitting the holes with explosiveness. Like they had their toughness in terms of their contact balance, being able to get those extra yards. There was a lot of things going on against this Raiders defense, who came into the game one of the league's best run defenses statistically.
And that's what Washington, for me, every game this season, I think the key to this season is going to be how well can you run the football. When they can't run the football, as you've seen in Green Bay, they didn't really try in the Green Bay game. They didn't have a chance. You know, there's a lot of games with Jaden, obviously, he can bail you out with his skill. But I think to maximize this team's potential on offense, and when they're playing at their best, when they're flowing at their best, is when they get the offensive side of the football with the run game going. And the first drive was very evident of that. Obviously, Debo almost scored a touchdown on the first drive, but that first drive, I don't even think they passed the ball that whole first drive. You ran every play on that drive, and that's when you kind of set the tone. That's when I knew. I said, okay, this is the type of game they're going to come in on. They're going to come in on some power football stuff, like we're going to bully you. And I think the key is Chris Paul. Like Chris Paul there in that interior line, from what we've heard all summer, he's been having a great camp. You know, they love him, they love what they've seen out of him. Now, I didn't know what that was going to mean as far as translating to the season, because, you know, in my mind, you already had your starting five, you know, kind of locked in. But Brandon Coleman has struggled. And I'm with you, Mual. Like, you know, it's not surprising that he got benched because he was struggling. But I thought he would kind of get the Connolly leash. But I think they've seen something over these 10 days that said, we got to make a change and we got to make a shakeup here. And it may have been kind of facilitated when Brandon Coleman went out for a couple of plays against Green Bay and Chris Paul came in and he didn't make any mistakes. So they said, let's give him a whole game. And he might not relinquish that left guard spot. Now, it may be kind of hard for Brandon Coleman to come back and get his spot, because after a game like this, you may be starting to establish something on that offensive line now. Like, you got 5 guys that you maybe trust now. Allegretti's on that right side now. Connolly didn't have a bad game today. He did have a couple penalties. One of them was declined, but I mean, it's Max Crosby, but this is a much better performance for him. I'll be interested to see what some of the film review guys say of him this week, and, you know, after reviewing his tape. But no, I mean, you just have to be happy with how you were able to establish that run game and how comfortable that offensive line looked, and just how comfortable the whole offense looked. Everything flowed this week, and this is what you want to see going forward. And I hope this is kind of the identity they're establishing, because they are a better football team when they establish the run.
So this is the one thing I wanted to bring up when you mentioned the offensive line, though, Dre, about Paul. I'm not sure like what the situation is going to look like when he comes back, because like I don't know if they're going to play Wiley at left guard or keep Paul over there at left guard. But eventually, when Cosme comes back, they're going to have some more shuffling to do to some extent. So that's a good point. Cosme can come back after one game since he started on the PUP, I believe. So I'm sure they're going to put him.
But what I heard, he may not be that close in the next couple of weeks. It may be like after week 6. That's what I heard for Cosme.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably got to see like what his practice situation look like, what he look like when he's actually off of that PUP list and activated. Because I wouldn't expect him to come back like immediately after he's lifted off of that. But yeah, what's up, AJ?
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a solid performance. Definitely interesting of the shakeups that happened over the last 48 hours with the offensive line. I guess that's one of the great things about this particular coaching staff. They're not afraid to pivot. You know, it's just what's going to happen for the long haul. Is Chris Paul going to be that guy at left guard moving forward? And then I guess we wait to see what happens with Cosme. But, I mean, it's good that they made some type of adjustment, and we kind of seen some of that impact today with being able to establish the run game and also pass protect. So, yeah, it's an unfortunate story that's going to play out with Brandon Coleman, but what's that one cartoon back in the day? That's all, folks. Looney Tunes. Yeah, that's all, folks. I mean, you hit on some draft picks and you miss on others, and I thought that he had a better skill set to be a guard in this league, but yeah, in the first 2 weeks, it was not showing off to be a great debut at that position. And I guess it's I can't necessarily say it's okay, but you know, maybe Chris Paul is that guy. Everybody's not going to be an elite talent at every position on your offensive line, but you know, I think that's something to just continue to monitor.
Yes, JC Coleman did get hurt. He had a shoulder injury. I don't think you're defending him. It's more so just remember. Well, if you don't know, I'm sorry. They did say that it was a coach's decision. It was not injury related, and I'm pretty sure if they say that, you can imagine even if he did have the shoulder injury, he was healthy enough to play. So that's kind of where we're getting things on that side. Okay. Shout out to the special teams. To some extent, because that boy Matt Gay, bro, you getting paid guaranteed money, and you fucking up chip shot field goals. That's I'm never gonna let go of the fact that he's getting guaranteed money in the way in which they moved to acquire him, bro. Like they just dumped their kicker to the side. Like they dumped all their kickers to the side, said, you know what, we don't need y'all no more. We got Matt Gay. Here, take all the money you need to come kick with us. And ever since they said he was perfect in training camp, he started going to the joint practices and he ain't been right since. So, and on top of that, if it wasn't for Pete Carroll, shout out to him calling that timeout, he misses the 56-yarder. But I say that to say we can talk about him. I just wanted to give the shout outs to Deebo Samuel and Jalen Lane for like how Deebo sparked the special teams explosive plays with the kickoff to begin the game, but also Jalen Lane in that was it third quarter, I believe, with his punt return, like a true blazer, and incredible contact balance. Because I mean, not everybody's going to be able to take a couple hits through the coverage unit and still stay on their feet to score that touchdown. So shout out to him, get his first touchdown as a rookie. Actually broke a record for the first rookie or Washington rookie to score a special teams touchdown or punt return touchdown in that manner. So yeah, shout out to special teams to some degree. But
yeah, especially yeah, I mean, it's very important. I mean, as you've seen, I think that one opening kickoff return from Deebo Samuel, it changed the momentum of how this game is going to go. Like when you break something like that to start off a game, it gets you fired up. A lot of people question why Deebo was going to be a kick returner within this team due to his injury concerns. Excuse me. Ooh. Due to his injury concerns, but you've seen exactly today why he's back there. He's a dynamic player with the ball in his hands, especially if he can get a head start and hit those lanes. He can definitely put you in great field position. Maybe he's not doing it every single time, but to definitely kick off a game, you want him back there to be a difference maker, and he showed that. Jalen Lane, someone who, you know, they specifically said in drafting him that he was there to be like a punt returner. He showed his skill set today. I've had private discussions with Brian Mitchell about Lane being a good punt returner for this team. Also, some things that he worked on with Lane in anticipation of him being the starter at punt returner, and it showed off. I mean, we're only in week 3 of the season, and he's already made one of the bigger impactful plays as a special teamer in most recent years as far as a return. I mean, we even had on Jay Gruden. He was like, what does Luke McCaffrey bring you at punt returner but a fair catch? You know? Jalen has already went for what? You said it was like 90 yards?
Nah, it was 190. It was it was 90. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so for 90.
I didn't even realize that boy was flying. I thought it was like 60. Man, I mean, covered 90 in like 7 seconds.
He's fast as hell. So, I mean, you just hope that now that extra boost of scoring his first touchdown and understanding he could do it in the league also transitions to the offensive side, because he had an opportunity to score 2 touchdowns on the day with that drop catch that he had. But then when you get into the kicker stuff, yeah, man, I would move on from Matt Gay. But I just think that Dan Quinn is so loyal to a fault to certain guys that they're going to continue to just allow him to keep missing kicks. But, I mean, just think about it. What if this game was closer? That would have been huge. To miss chip shots, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, there's no point of having a kicker that keeps missing kicks. Then on top of that, kicking the ball out of bounds on kickoffs. It's just like he serves no purpose. So maybe they go bring in a young ho. You feel me?
Yeah, go ahead. But no, Jalen Lane. Look, I'm still pissed off about that punt return because normally on a return like that, I'm going off. I'm yelling. I'm jumping up and down. That whole punt return, I'm sitting there like, oh, they called it back. Watch, he gonna run it back. I'm pissed off while he running the touchdown because I just knew they gonna call it back. But luckily, we had the fortunate, thing of the penalty being against the Raiders, and Jalen Lane got a big return. I mean, it was explosive, man. Like, I mean, that's what we kind of envisioned when we drafted him. Like, he also had a chance to make a play that he didn't make for Mariota early in the game. He dropped a touchdown pass on the back shoulder that I thought Mariota put right there for him to make the play, but he made up big time. You got to give it to him. I mean, Larry Izzo, special teams coordinator, I think he has this special teams group kind of clicking on all cylinders, kicker issues aside. I mean, he doesn't really control that, but I mean, from the coverage standpoint, I mean, look what you're doing with Debo out there. The lanes are there. Like, I mean, when that first Debo lane, he had like 40 yards before he was touched. So, and that's why you put him back there. Like, fans were complaining about the injuries. Oh, man, he's going to get injured. He's a football player. Debo's as tough as they come, and he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. You give him a chance. Any chance you get for those guys to get the ball in their hands, you do it. So, yes, special teams, like I said, outside of kicker, which I do think we have to bring some competition in this week at least, and Gay got saved because the Raiders tried to ice him, and he missed that joint. But he came and he made it the 56-yarder. But I was looking at him after he missed the chip shot, and he just looked so defeated. Like, he looked like, man, I know this is the end of my job, man. Like, this is it for me. Like, so, I was scared from there on out for him kicking field goals. But, I mean, he ended up redeeming himself. Luckily the Raiders saved him on one. So who knows what happens this week. But I do think you have to bring some competition in this week because it's not just a this week thing. This has been kind of, been prolonged since the preseason. So you're going to have to bring someone in. I mean, as AJ said, a young hoe, bring a young hoe in, even though he had his struggles in Atlanta.
I'm about to say, I'm not, I've watched, and Dre, you watch this man too. Like, yeah. I have seen this dude so many times where I got money on the line for Atlanta, and I just see that man hook the junk left, bro. Yeah. Like, he ain't no better.
Fans will hate him too if he's doing what he did in Atlanta. Fans will be talking about him like they do Gay right now.
I'd rather stick it out with Matt.
I mean, you might as well, but that's why I say you could bring competition in, but it's no guarantee that he's gonna get cut. Maybe that 56-yarder, sprung something in him. Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows, bro? All right, let's go ahead, hit our ad break. And on the back end, we will dive a little bit more into the defense and some other related items. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, Amani. I thought it was on Washington as well. But then I thought about it because that flag came out before he caught the ball. So I was like, this may not be on Washington. So I was still mad though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anyway, let me tell you about these people over here at Underdog Fantasy. Listen, Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Yes, football is back. Get your picks right and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash by playing just as little as $1. Let me tell y'all what I got tonight for that Sunday night football game. Do I still got something going? Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, my 1 o'clock did not do too good. But one of these days, when we hit big on Underdog, y'all gonna be thankful that your boy kept giving y'all these plays, right? All right, let me tell you. We're gonna go lower on Russell Wilson passing yards, 228.5. We're gonna go higher on Darius Slayton receiving yards, 23.5. We're gonna go higher on Isaiah Pacheco, 38.5 rushing yards.
Here you go, butchering names again.
Bro, I'm trying my best, bro. Lower on Patrick Mahomes rushing yards, 29.5. And we're gonna go higher on Travis Kelce receptions, 4.5. So we're gonna go higher on 4.5 receptions for Travis Kelce. All right, run that back one more time. Russell Wilson, lower passing yards, 228.5. Darius Slayton, higher receiving yards, 23.5. Isaiah Pacheco, 38.5 rushing yards. We're going to go higher. Lower on Pat Mahomes, rushing yards, 29.5. And higher on Travis Kelce receptions, 4.5. Download the app today and sign up using promo code TrapperDive to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That is promo code TrapperDive. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
All right. Let's go through. Actually, let's break this and do the one sentence takeaways and then get to the defense. So we got a few. Who was that? I think it was Moneyball who said, was it Moneyball who mentioned? No, it was Bowie. All right, so somebody is on Bowie's side with this. Bucket WFT fan. Keep Jaden down next week too. Anthony Armstrong said that's what you're supposed to do to a lesser team. Respectfully. Lord Tandoori, team effort, play like, oh, sorry, I read it. Team effort, play like this with JD5. Mind you, they still had a turnover and like 7 penalties. Tandoori, like, they still ain't play that good. They could have put up 50. Where we at? Anthony Williams, Marion. Oh, Lord. I think he did Mariota. Mariota's magic strikes again. Sammy Mayo, dominant win. Mariota, this is Kevin Robertson. Mariota's the best backup quarterback in the league, so don't run any damn counters with him either. Good Lord. And then Sean No Carter said, not impressed. Okay. Oh, my bad. I saved the best one for last because I wanted to talk about the running backs for a quick second. Just off the strength, he said, excellent response. This is Armani. Excellent response. Our old running back would not have scored on that 60-yard run. Get that man out your head, Armani. But nah, people be saying that all the time, bro. Look, I'm happy with the way the running back situation is at now. Like I mentioned earlier, the fact that they're like creating yards, like it's a compliment. Like the way that the offensive line is getting busy in the run game, but also just their ability to create the extra yardage consistently, like from a committee standpoint. Is what I was thinking. But I'm pretty impressed by the start that they've had to this point in the season. Defensively, where are we at? Because I like the fact that the pressure continues to be there. They could have had like 8 sacks on Geno today, right? Even maybe 10, to be honest with you. As much as they was getting back there, and they had hands on Geno like 3 or 4 times, and they couldn't wrap him up. 5 sacks, a ton of pressure. I don't know exactly what the numbers are right now. I'm gonna look for it. But then when we look at the secondary, like I don't like bro. Even before the garbage time area, we had some moments where they was getting chunks. The Raiders were. It wasn't super detrimental in the moment, but like they still broke off some chunks here and there. Where are we at kind of with the defense after this game?
Yeah, honestly, like I love what you did in the trenches. You got the run defenses, they're balling. I mean, no one has really dominated them in that area this year. And that was the biggest weakness last year. Now, this coming week is going to be a big test. You're facing probably the best in the game in Bijan. But, I mean, I thought they did what they were supposed to do to the Raiders. I mean, I thought that one of the ways they could eat against the Raiders was in that interior of the Raiders line. And you see Genty just didn't have the lanes. Like, those guys were clogging things up. But, yeah, the concern comes for me in the backfield, that secondary, because if they're not able to get immediate pressure on the quarterback, there's always somebody just roaming free or running open. And today it was Trey Tucker. Like Trey Tucker had himself a breakout game as a rookie. I mean, he was just every time you seen him on the field, no one was around him. And that's a concern to me because I feel like a lot of it is attributed to what you would call busted coverage, or, you know, what Joe Witt kept talking about in his presser last week, eye discipline. Like, when are you going to get these things fixed? Like, I know we're dealing with injuries, and we had some today, you know, Amos, Marshawn, Will Harris, but still, we're still seeing some of those same concerning issues that can really burn this defense when you do go out there and face better opponents. So they have to tighten that up. That's something that doesn't make you feel good coming out of this game. But I am still encouraged about what I'm seeing from at least that defensive line and how they're able to control the line of scrimmage. But they got to tighten that backfield up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that they're just going to struggle with all season with the secondary. And now you got a couple guys with some injuries as well. Will Harris, he's injured. Marshawn, I think I heard that he had a concussion possibly. Trey Amos got an injury. Trey also should have had a pick. But, yeah, it's just a bunch of different things. So it's just something that I think they're just going to struggle with all season. You just got to get home with your front four and hopefully minimize the impact wide receivers will be able to have in these games. Yeah, I don't really know how you fix it, honestly, because it's just like there's going to be speed no matter who you play, whatever. Everybody's kind of struggling right now, and I think maybe it boils down to communication. I don't know, but I guess we'll continue to see if they get tested, if they improve. But yeah, it's just like you don't have a shutdown corner. You just got some guys that play the position, and you hope for the best. Trey Amos should have had a pick. I
blame Will Harris for that.
Yeah, Will Harris got in his way.
Yeah,
Did you see it, AJ?
Yeah, I seen it.
Right.
But yeah, you still want to create some turnovers defensively. You haven't been able to do that at a high clip, and that's really what this Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr. defense is predicated on, and you're not creating turnovers yet. So, yeah, maybe they gel as the season goes on, but right now it's not looking the greatest.
Hey, another reason. What's up, Jay Tizzy? I'm glad you showed up. Appreciate you joining us. As always, everybody that's checking on the YouTube side, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You thought I was a little crazy for playing over on the Ashton Dempsey run, bro. The run total. I just wanted to put that out there.
What was his number again? What was it?
It was at 44 or like 40 something. Okay. And Jay Tizzy thought I was crazy for playing playing over the number. Anyway, all right, back to the defense. I just wanted to say that because I was getting painted as a crazy guy. All right, so I'm with AJ. We're just gonna have to play it out, but I think at this point you're at a situation where you're about to start digging into your bag of practice squad players. And I told you before the show started. At this point, you might as well just see what Stephon Gilmore up to. Like I remember the tweet that he said like before week 1 kicked off. And he was like, man, it feels good like to not have to work today or something like that. Or he was like, first time in a long time that I'm not working today. I forgot exactly what he said. And I'm like, I mean, he's 30. He's gonna add to the average age total for the team. But the dude like 35, something like that. If he still want to play, check in with him, get his temperature. Because at this point, I mean, of course, you got other people out there that I may not be thinking of in the moment. But Dan Quinn, Stephon Gilmore, they have a history. Go for it if you feel like that's something that you want to do. But honestly, now that I think about it, Stephon don't play in the slot. Like he's not versatile. So like you will only be using Stephon if Marshawn is unavailable or if Trey Amos is unavailable for an extended period. So I don't know, man. That secondary is going to be in trouble for a while, I think. And I really think the reason why is more based on injuries as it is the skill set. I don't think like these. I don't know. I can't pinpoint all of the issues at one time, right? I don't think it's like this communication thing is one aspect, but like these second second chance plays that's being rewarded to teams because they aren't able to finish on the front end, like are contributing to these coverage breakdowns as well. Like Sanderstill is getting lost in the secondary off the scramble drill. Like he can't find his man. And it happened on several occasions. Like even the one last week when Quan Martin, quote unquote, got beat for the touchdown that got called back for a penalty. That was Sanderstill's man. And Sanderstill lost him when he started looking for the quarterback. So it ended up being a true one-on-one opportunity. And I think just from a standpoint of like these guys on the scramble drill, these guys genuinely not playing their zones right. Like I think that's kind of like it's a combination of things. But I think if they were healthy, bro, and like fully on the same page, I don't think it would be a problem long term. But they got to find a way to get over this quick because I mean, even next week, Drake London, like you know he Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Guess AJ didn't hear that.
And then, but they got
I don't even know what y'all just said. So,
oh no, don't worry. I was just saying how Washington got a hell of a receiving core coming up next week. I mean, headed by Drake London and the Atlanta Falcons, future Hall of Fame wide receiver. Like they got some dogs that they're going up against next week. Kyle Pitts resurgence, and they just got shut out. You think they about to come into week 4? Did they get shut out? I'm tripping 30-0, right?
I mean,
no, it was 30-0.
It was 30.
Yeah, 30-0. Yeah. So they just got shut out. They got a home game next week against the Commanders, bro. They not rocking. I don't mean that. They ain't about to put up no 50 burger on this. I'm just saying they definitely gonna take this. They gonna take this game personal.
But I'm about to say, don't be surprised if you see an old former buddy of ours playing. They might have to put Kirk Cousins in because he came in today for Michael Penix, who struggled. So we'll see next week, man.
What Kirk look like in garbage time?
He was like 5 for 7 or something like that. Couple of yards.
Yeah,
but the game was far over by that point, man. But Carolina did some damage to him, and you do have to expect a pissed off Falcons team. You are going over there to Atlanta to play them, so it's going to be interesting. We did beat them last year. They probably have that on their minds too, but it shouldn't even be about them. It's got to be about us and what we can do. Like, I mean, damn the opponent. We know that the opponent's going to come out however they're going to come out, but we have to come out and be the team we want to be. And as I was saying earlier in the show, I mean, I think we really have to lean on the run game. We have to establish that run. This is where they're good at. You have quarterbacks that can run, and you have running backs that can run. Like all of your running backs are talented. Get side of the game going, and everything else comes easier. And that's what we saw with Mariota today.
Let's get out of here with some MVPs. But before we do that, I'm going to go through a couple coach quotes. It may take a while for everything, but the biggest one, if we want to comment on it, is DQ said Coleman being inactive was just about competition, and Chris Paul had fought for that spot. So that kind of validates what you were saying too, Dre, about like how they liked Chris Paul, and I mean they did. Like we understood that there was a lot of people talking about Chris Paul's development to this point. But yeah, that kind of confirms that the spot is competition won over the left guard position and the left guard position switch. Excuse me.
So they're saying that he's going to be inactive going forward, pretty much.
I mean, at least for the time being.
Yeah, well, he didn't mention anything outside of like what I read. So I would assume so. Especially if he played good today. Like if the film suggested he played good today, I don't think they're going to go back to Coleman anytime soon.
Yeah, because who would he come in for at this point? If Chris Paul held it down to left guard, right guard, I think Andrew Wiley did a good job. But again, film guys may say something different, but they look good today. So where does Brandon Coleman fit at the moment? He probably has to wait for his opportunity to get called up due to injury or something.
I think he cooked for the year, unless somebody get hurt. Yeah, it's really just that, bro. You know what it is, but we'll draw the bigger picture conclusions. When the season, when we get to that point, with these rookies and some of these draft picks. All right, so that's actually all the quotes that I'm seeing online is just that one, for the most part. So outside of the Mariota running into Dan Quinn, bloodying in his nose, everybody talking about that one. All right, let's get to MVPs, man. Who is our offensive and defensive MVPs for the game? Dre, you killed me. Was it 2 weeks ago? Well, of Of course, 2 weeks ago, we won no damn MVPs last week. You got all my guys. So I'm starting with AJ first.
You can start first, actually.
All right,
Don't try to put it on me.
Yeah. Defensively, I'm going. I still gotta stick with the line, man. I'm gonna go with Dorrance Armstrong. And funny enough, I could have went with Dorrance. I could have went with Von Miller. Because Von Miller had a key sack on third down that got the Raiders offense off the field. I think when they was relatively within, I think they was at that point, I think within 2 scores before we actually blew the game wide open. But shout out to the defensive line unit, pass rushing, etc. Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go Bobby Wagner because he was the one true pass rusher slash blitzer who had his 1 or 2 opportunities to get to the quarterback and didn't whiff on the sacks. So I'm gonna go Bobby Wagner defensively. And then on offense, I am going to go with Mariota. I know people mentioned Terry McLaurin. Somebody mentioned Terry McLaurin in the chat about his coming out game, I think is what they said. I mean, honestly, he got robbed for the touchdown. And that's unfortunate.
Man,
but
if he run harder, he would have scored. Wouldn't even have to be a call.
Well, he scored, but I get what you're saying. But yeah, I brought that up because he's not in consideration for me. I'm gonna go with Mariota. He came in against the Raiders and he put up he led a really good day, 400 yards of total offense. The dysfunction was not necessarily on him. It was penalties from his offensive line and some other things. So Mariota on offense and Bobby Wagner on defense.
All right, well, go ahead, AJ. I'll go last.
Yeah, I mean, I think from an offensive standpoint, MVP was Cliff Kingsbury, being committed to the run game and being able to mix it up with different looks, still forcing the Raiders to be honest with playing RPO game. He allowed Marcus Mariota to run the ball, even though he fumbled on his longest run of the day. But just the commitment to the run game overall was impressive. And then defensively, the defensive line, I think they did a good job. So those are my MVPs.
I don't know how I forgot the fucking the fumble. Like as I said that, like I completely forgot the fumble, and I was just on their ass about these missed opportunities. So yeah, I guess he didn't have a perfect day at all. But yeah, go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was close to it, which is why I'm gonna have to go with Mariota as the MVP as well. I mean, there was a lot of doubters this week. A lot of people say, "Oh man, don't sleep on the Raiders, and we don't have Jaden. We need Jaden to, in order to win." And I'm like, look, Mariota can hold it down for at least 1 week. He showed that he could do it last year, when any opportunity his name was called. And he came out there and he answered the bell today. I mean, fumble aside, I thought he was damn near flawless out there. I mean, probably should have had another passing touchdown, as I mentioned, to Jalen Lane on that one drop pass. So he went out there. The offense put up 41 points. Well, 34. Jalen Lane did have a punt return touchdown, but still, you scored 30-plus points in this game. You did enough to win. And Mariota was leader of that. Defensively, Dorrance Armstrong. I'm going to go with Dorrance Armstrong. I just thought he was a factor all day on the defensive line. He seems to, keep ascending. Like, since he's joined the Commanders on this team, he seems to just keep on ascending into a much better player and to the point where I think he's a really good edge rusher. Yeah, that's all I hear. Someone shopping. Like,
hey, man, I'm coming out of
AJ doing everything but being on the podcast.
No, look. I'm coming out of Trader Joe's. And lady had on like a 80th anniversary Redskins jersey, and then the lady next to her had on a Dak Prescott jersey. So I started booing her. Oh. And she turned around and started laughing. She said, "I've been getting booed all day wearing this." I was like, rightfully so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. My MVPs, Dorrance Armstrong, Marcus Mariota.
Oh, yeah, McNichols did his thing too. I've never seen him run like that since college.
He was balling, man.
Well, that was his longest touchdown in his career too. So that kind of definitely set that actually helped break the game open for real. Honestly, 4 or 5 tackles he broke, just stayed on his feet, and they lost him in the traffic. Okay, where did I see the MVPs at on here? We had MVP is definitely McNichols. That running game was a turning point easily. Yeah, I agree with that, Moneyball. And then Payne and Armstrong are hooping this year.
I'm surprised Moneyball didn't tell us. He's been telling us about McNichols. I feel like Moneyball, every time somebody do something good, he already told us about it. And when they did something bad, he told us about them too.
He was, he tried to bait me. He tried to bait me. Almost went off, bro. Almost went off right here. He said always bringing up B-Rob. Like, I think he like a class A troll, bro. Like he do a good job of this.
Didn't you bring up B-Rob at brunch yesterday? You brought up somebody at brunch yesterday.
B-Rob. Why the hell would I bring up? Hell no. Nah.
Oh, before we get out of here, Quan Martin is trash. Let me just say that.
Okay. But listen. A matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the floor. I'm gonna give you the floor. Tell the people why you think Quan Martin's trash. Let them know your profound sounding. Let them know why they's trash, bro.
Also, let AJ tell him how he had his pom-poms on for Ashton Genty, rooting for him to run Quan Martin over.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell the people.
Crickets.
Oh, you must still be at the checkout line, bro. Okay. Let's go get up out of here, man. We don't need that negativity before the John in. So yeah. With all that being said, the fellas will be back on Tuesday. And then obviously on Thursday as well this week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And the Sunday night game as well. But yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, and all 32 on Wednesday. So we up out of here. Take it easy. All the good stuff. Trey, AJ.
Hey, shout out Quan Martin. Shout out Quan.
Chop it down. Chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Chop it down. You gon' chop it down. Damn, set. Watch him throw the ball. We gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.